Hey parents, welcome to Open House 2020. I'm going to go quick. If you need to stop and rewind, that's the beauty of YouTube is you can stop and rewind. Number one, here's the classroom codes. Every kid seems to be on it and in it. Whether or not they're doing their work is a different story. All right. If you have any questions, we can talk about that later. E-learners. It seems that there's two groups of e-learners. Number one, kids who are born to be e-learners. Number two, kids who are not born to be e-learners. It's important to know which one your kid is. If your kid is struggling, make sure that you are talking to me and emailing me because I can't read minds, especially when the screen is blank and black and they're not asking questions. It's a little frustrating, and we're already getting down to into the first 4.5 weeks, and we got kids who are behind. So if you're watching this and your kid is behind, email me so we can get them caught up. All right. Just curriculum-wise, number one, major topics in U.S. history. You're looking right here at this column right here. We've done exploring the Americas. We've done colonies. All three classes have finished this up. We are starting on the American Revolution. Our goal is to get through Reconstruction. We will do that. In a normal year, I would aim to get some extra stuff done, but this isn't a normal year. So we're going to move on to American Revolution and then early America, talk about Andrew Jackson, going west, Civil War, and then Reconstruction. And we'll end it there. Again, if we have some extra time there after Christmas break, we'll look at some of the 20th century stuff. All right, I have been using the binder. I don't think that you need a 3-inch binder. I think a 1-inch binder would be fine. But I do give kids notes, and I do hand back some things. So if they are an in-class learner, make sure that they have a binder. Most kids have it. I've seen them and heard them click it. All right. So far, we've had a really good group. So there hasn't been anybody who's gotten past their name on the board. But if they do get their name on the board and they get a check mark in the same week, there is a teacher detention. They'll be in here on Friday mornings. This is the discipline ladder. All these kids seem to stop after this right here. So it's the same thing with tardies. Tardies don't seem to be a problem right now because there's no gathering in the hallways. But the first one's a warning, the second one's a teacher detention, and the third one is a referral. But it's been a really good year so far. All right, academic integrity is important to me. It really bothers me. I'm not very lenient with it at all. There's no chance to redo it. Everything's online, so a lot of kids will automatically start copying and pasting from Google, and it's real easy to catch. And I've said this 500 times. I'm going to say it again next week. If you're caught copying and pasting from Google or another student, you will get a 1 out of whatever, and there will be consequences. It's kind of I've already seen it start to happen, and we're trying to get away from that bad habit. But just be aware that 8th graders are famous for copying. All right, late work I take up until the end of the 4.5 weeks, and it earns 50% of full credit. There's been a lot of late work so far. I try to be lenient the first couple weeks, but I'm really over it. So I am full blown on the 50% credit. The reason that we do that, and I know teachers can sound like jerks sometimes, but the reason that I personally do that is because if I don't do that, kids will wait until 2 days before the semester is over and try and do all their work, and nobody's learning anything from that, and it bothers me. Once again, going to keep this short. School is pretty easy. You got to get your work turned in on time. You got to keep organized, and you got to ask questions when you don't understand something. If something isn't clear, if the teacher makes a mistake and something isn't clear, or if you just simply don't understand something, you're typically not the only one. They need to ask questions. 95 out of 100 problems can be solved just by asking for clarification. That is typically a misread, and those misreads as teachers are happening a lot because we don't see faces. They're online, and we're worried about the kids in front of us, and the kids that are e-learners, they kind of put their screen blank, and then we can't see them or really deal with them. Which reminds me of something that I should have said earlier with the e-learning. Make sure that the chat needs to stay up during the class period. Make sure that they're staying on the chat, just, in case they have questions. Other than that, I think it's it. That's it. Y'all have a great day.